Welcome to Citizens Police Academy. I am Commander Kenneth Quintanar. As instructor for this training, I will be your guide as we explore and review the handling of trace evidence found and used to convict Wayne Williams. The evolution of modern forensics began with fingerprints and has surged forward to today with developed theories like Locard's exchange principle. Fingerprint analyses were first discovered as a forensic tool to solve crimes during the 1800s. Additional modern forensic analysis procedures include blood spatter, ballistics, cybercrime, and probably the single most significant advancement in modern forensics is the development of DNA profiling. According to Locard, whenever two objects come into contact, there is a cross-transfer of material. Locard's exchange principle prompted changes to the protocols for the processing of evidence. Evidence recovered from cross-transfer contact during the commission of a crime is recognized as admissible in court. Locard's discovery called for an established protocol for the handling and documenting of trace evidence. The FBI published standard protocols for evidence handling. The FBI Scientific Working Group on Material Analysis Evidence Handling Guidelines, a publication of officially recognized evidence processing protocols pertaining to scope, significance and use, documentation such as chain of custody, contamination and loss. Both samples and sufficient material from the sampled item must be preserved from collected evidence samples. Wayne Williams was seen in the proximity of the bridge where multiple murder victims' bodies were discovered. He was stopped and questioned. One of the officers on surveillance duty at the stakeout site reported hearing a splash large enough to be a body. In 1981, there were not a lot of rules surrounding the handling or processing of trace evidence. The local law enforcement officials went about collecting the evidence to the best of their abilities. There were several sources of trace evidence found on the bodies of the victims of the Atlanta child murders, but by far the most significant are the yellow-green trilobal nylon fibers believed to be from carpeting found in the Williams home. There were 28 different types of fibers and hair found to connect the victims to Williams. Trace evidence from a range of sources, including a bedspread, carpet from the home, and multiple vehicles, as well as the family dog. There were multiple instances of trace evidence found on Payne and Cater that connected Williams to the victims. The Frye Standard of Admissibility states in summary, evidence obtained is generally accepted by experts in the field in which it belongs and according to Georgia law at the time, in order to prove pattern or scheme of killing, the judge could allow evidence from other crime scenes to be introduced during the trial. The prosecution used fiber evidence found on 12 of the Atlanta child murder victims to connect Williams to a pattern they say was present in the Payne and Cater murders. FBI protocols for handling evidence and the submission of said evidence remains at the discretion of the judge. The judge can allow or disallow any evidence he or she deems relevant. Legal issues. There is an argument that the criminal justice system railroaded the defendant and misappropriated evidence. Ethical issues. Missing secure documentation of a chain of custody and crucial evidence. Merging issues. 2015 call for retrial. Casting doubt as to whether the prosecution truly proved their case. Field and lab forensic processing techniques include collecting non-biological evidence such as clothing, carpet fibers, glass, plastic, metal, and other materials with proper tools such as gloves, tweezers, tape, labeling, and packaging. Collecting biological evidence, which is similar to non-biological, but wet samples need to be dried out. Fluids like semen and blood need to be swabbed and logged, as well as hair, skin, nails, and teeth. Digital evidence photograph the crime scene, victims' bodies, and all evidence observed and address witness statements. In addition to the latest evidence processing techniques, there have been advancements in the scrutiny of how the evidence is collected, processed, and used to convict or exonerate suspects. The preferred method follows the FBI guidelines with a properly documented chain of custody form, so when a question arises, one only needs to refer to the form to follow up and make inquiries. Based on an unprecedented amount of circumstantial hair and fiber evidence, WayneWilliams was convicted on February 27, 1983, for the murder of 2 adult men. Mere days after the conviction, the federal task force assigned to solve the 29 Atlanta child murder cases disbanded, stating that they believed the killer was WayneWilliams and had been